you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
After a long two-week build-up here in the Bay Area, the moment has finally arrived. It is time for football here at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Folks, this is Super Bowl 60, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the NFC champions, the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. This is a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys are now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress. Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Jacksonville.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Handoff running left is Etienne. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
Lawrence. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Montez Sweat in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. A give running right, Etienne. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point forthcoming.
For the extra point.
And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars.
Makes the score Jaguars.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure. And he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To the air, Williams. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl is unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taken on the 25. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Joe Tryon just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. By that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. They'll drop that underneath to ETN. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
A gain of 11
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. And they will wind up with a football here at the 22-yard line. And there, Charles, the pressure wasn't coming off the edge. That block came straight up the chute, up the middle.
And that's when you're going to ask the personal protector what happened, because that position is often called the searchlight. And you start that light right up the middle before you scan to the sides. That's where your immediate threat is, and it's your quickest threat. Why he didn't see that and pick it up, that's going to be a big question they'll have to ask.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Now a 2nd and 6. They run out of the gun with Swift. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Taken down at the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
To throw, it's Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
They'll go. Here's Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. DeMarco Jackson, the man to bring him down defensively.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
In motion left goes Myers. And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, because everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Takes it to about the 37.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. They go play action with Lawrence. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Lawrence to throw. Open man is Myers. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And he is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's Logan Cook now. And remember, he had his first punt blocked. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And we've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. 2nd quarter coming your way next. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Williams from the gun on third down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Williams going to look to throw again. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
4 yards. That's another Bears first down. 1st down and goal to go.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Swift again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
They'll look to throw forward with Williams. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Joshua Hines-Allen drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run, and of course, get to the quarterback.
So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. Santos' kick is up and through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Timing was just a bit off, and that can happen occasionally, even with these fine professionals in the NFL.
But on those out routes, that requires precision, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Everyone has to be in sync from the time the quarterback hits his back foot and delivers the ball to the receiver turning to find it.
Here's Lawrence. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
For a Bears first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
That's interference. Defense.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On the option to give to Swift here. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And Walker has it. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
14-yard line.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
To throw, Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away.
2nd and 7.
And it'll be 2nd down.
11-yard line.
They'll run with the Rutgers man, Kyle Monungai. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Williams. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Josh Hines-Allen able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. He hit his first, this one from 38. Santos' kick is up and through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And 10 at the 25-yard line.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Thomas Jr. A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Oh, and that is incomplete. That close on 3rd down. I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to get going again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. They work now on 2nd and 9. Looking to throw is Williams. Open man is Duvernay. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Duvernay in motion. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Working out of the gun, Williams. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At their 48-yard line.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. To the air, Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got this down to the 35. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Swift going to try up the middle. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
3rd down and 12.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Williams looking to do it himself. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Santos' kick is up and through, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
On the return, here's Parker Washington. So halftime now here on Sunday night primetime. Let's get it to Scott Hansen in Orlando with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here, as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Gets around him. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
47-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Williams. And his throw here's incomplete.
Intended for number 20.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
His throw incomplete.
Williams' pass intended for number 20. Incomplete. Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Joe Tryon-Shoyinka in pursuit that time, and he gets the tackle for loss.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First down, Jaguars.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now Lawrence. Screenplay, here's Etienne. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. They'll try the left side with Etienne. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. Etienne once more. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. To throw, it's Williams. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Williams work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Bears first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Here's a toss play right to Swift. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. All-around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Operating from the gun, Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
2nd and 11. That's taken in by Duvernay.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing is Williams. That is caught. And he will have the Bears first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
That's another Bears first down. 1st and 10.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's a handoff to Swift. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Williams looking to do it himself. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Caleb Williams, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi Trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. And able to get this out to the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Lawrence will throw. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you've got to make that throw, right? That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Williams. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's caught left side. Myers with it. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Here's Lawrence. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Here's Logan Cook now. as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Fielded at the 33. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Bears take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Here's Williams. Finding more on the out route for the completion. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
2nd down and 4. To throw, Williams. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
It's a gain of 11.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Play action. Now Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Williams. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And this is going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. From the right hash, this from 48. Santos' kick is up and through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Over the middle, complete. It's Myers. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? 57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. A beautiful fake. And he is going to have a Jags first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run. This is Bashal Tootin. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Lawrence to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Lawrence on the sneak. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
He's got his target. That's complete. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On the slant, he finds Washington. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
ETN will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Running is Monangai. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. To the air, Williams. He'll fire deep, looking for more. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 20. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10. At about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got long over the middle, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Jacksonville.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Gets this to Myers. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical 3rd down here. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
1st down, Jaguars.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And he is going to lose yardage here. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Here comes 2nd down. Back to throw. Lawrence. Over the middle, he's got Myers. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. What can they draw up now? Time to find out on a 3rd and 8. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, Let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
And these Chicago Bears have etched their name in NFL history. They are your Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying good night from Santa Clara.